Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. We'll also have a look at the UK Met Office run, have a look at the 5-day precipitation and temperature, and then we'll run through the mid-range models, have a look at the GFS, ECMWF and the Ensembles for the weather over the next few weeks, as we do have northern blocking returning, bringing in easterly winds. Given it's middle to end of April now, it's not going to be bitterly cold as if it were in January, February, as we alluded to yesterday, but it still could give variable conditions, some chillier weather, but also some warmer weather, perhaps if we do start to see some milder or warmer air get caught up in that easterly flow. So we're very much going to have to keep an eye on that over the next few weeks. It's not going to be an absolute washout or bitterly cold by any means, but it could be a little bit more unsettled, showery, and a tad cooler than it is now. But for the time being, it is looking really quite nice today, and we'll look at that in a minute. So remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. So we do start on the live radar. You can see we do have largely dry weather for England, Wales and Scotland. However, Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, very unsettled with low pressure running in from the Atlantic. So this long weather front that is bringing heavy, persistent rain to many areas is now approaching western Scotland and southwest England, and it will slowly progress eastwards over the course of this evening, and it should start to impact more widespread areas by around sunset this evening. Because the thing we have been keeping an eye on is the timing of this weather front. We were pretty sure it would be moving through today into tomorrow, but it was the timing, and it does look like for most areas we're going to get a pretty decent Easter Sunday out of it. So I hope everyone out there is enjoying their Easter Sunday, or if you don't celebrate Easter, your weekend in general. So hopefully it is still going to hold on the weather for the next few hours, and then over the course of the evening, the weather front will push eastwards, bringing more persistent rain and potentially heavier rain and showers behind that for the next sort of few days. But this band will slowly decrease in intensity as it does run up against the high pressure. Even though the high pressure is going to lose out, it is going to put a decent fight in, which is going to reduce the intensity of the low pressure and of course the weather fronts. If we do have a look at the temperatures as of around 2:45 in the afternoon, so heading towards peak temperatures, you can see where we do have the clearer skies, the sunshine and less precipitation. It is pretty warm, getting up into the mid to high teens. Not quite as warm as yesterday or Friday, as we do have a little bit more cloud around, and of course cooler air is trying to push in from the west. So yeah, temperatures maybe a degree or two down on yesterday, but for most it's not going to feel too much, or not really any different. Along the east coast, with the winds veering more of a westerly now, it's going to be keeping those temperatures up a little bit, and the furthest west across Northern Ireland, you can see more blues mixing in there and very little orange, meaning cooler temperatures, only down into the low teens perhaps, maximum temperatures. But for the majority, it is still quite a pleasant day. And tomorrow we could still see some warmer temperatures here or there, but there will be increased cloud amounts and some precipitation around as well. So we do have a look at that in detail, have a look at the UK Met Office run, have a look at the, as I said, 5-day precipitation and temperature. So I do run through this afternoon. You can see that weather front through Northern Ireland, down into the far southwest, parts of Wales and western Scotland. A little bit more intense in reality than this model's making out, so perhaps it does last a little bit longer. And as it progresses eastwards, you can see it does disintegrate a bit, but still has some precipitation along it and does arrive in many areas through sunset and through the night, spreading eastwards. And of course, it does degrade away with heavier showers pushing in behind it. And by the time everyone wakes up tomorrow morning, yes, a few showers are around for the bank holiday Monday, but not any real big persistent bands of rain. Beyond that though, we do see, although it still is plenty of drier weather and sunnier weather around, there's going to be quite a few showers around, especially in western areas closer to the centre of the low, which is out to the north and west of Scotland. Now through Tuesday, we do start to see those easterly winds starting to take hold. So you can see in the south, we're starting to see showers come in from the east, thicker cloud. So yeah, temperatures could be alright, but there was always the risk of rain and thicker cloud, especially near the coast, potentially bringing in some sea fog, which could be a little bit disruptive and could keep those temperatures down. And you can see even through Wednesday, not too cool, not too rainy really, and it wouldn't be too cool either. Still temperatures up into the mid-high teens, we'll have a look at those in a minute, but not too bad with that high pressure bringing in easterly winds. But as we head through Thursday, very similar, but cloud around. But by Friday, you can see more precipitation potentially coming into the south and the Midlands. And that perhaps is a little bit more of a disturbance and lower pressure pushing in. So yes, there will be dry weather over the next 5 to 7 days. A lot of precipitation around potentially the next 24 hours, and beyond that there will be a lot of showers, there will be thicker cloud, but there will be plenty of sunshine. It just won't be quite as warm as it is now, and that there will always be a shower risk. We've just got to keep an eye with the low pressure to our south with these easterly winds and how close the centre of that low does get to the UK, and it could mean southern areas actually do have the highest amount of precipitation over the next 7 days after the next day or so, with regards to showers. If we do have a look at the max temperatures, see what that is showing, you can see this afternoon, widely temperatures, once again, pretty decent, getting up into the high teens, low 20s, potentially maybe 20, as 21 degrees, but not quite as high as the past few days, where we have seen 22, 23 degrees, but still widely mid to high teens, but you can see across Ireland, only 11 to 13 degrees. By tomorrow, all areas are going to be a little bit chillier. You see the far east of England, perhaps 16, 17 degrees with sunshine, but elsewhere we have thicker cloud and showers, potentially temperatures only around 10 to 14 degrees. And we see that continue through Tuesday, maybe an overnight frost for some, especially across Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland, with some chillier air and stagnant or very light winds. By Tuesday, you can see, yes, some areas maybe getting 16, 17 degrees, but widely again, 10 to 14 degrees more towards average. And that continues through Wednesday, very similar, 17, 18 degrees potentially across West Midlands down to the southwest. We don't have that sort of breeze coming in from the east along the east coast, maybe only 8 to sort of 12 degrees, so quite chilly. So yeah, not too bad by Wednesday, but not amazing, not quite as warm as we've had recently. And very similar for Thursday, chilly in the morning, but by the afternoon, potentially 16, 17 degrees further westwards and across the east coast, still only 8 to 12 degrees potentially, feeling quite chilly. So yeah, not going to be too bad over the coming week, but it's not going to be as great as we have recently with more easterly flow and potentially some showers in the south. So if you do have a look at the longer range, have a look at the GFS, GEM and ECMWF, you can see high pressure to our north and our east at the moment, low pressure breaking through and it dropping to our south, and by Wednesday we're into an easterly flow. Still generally higher pressure, you can see those yellows and oranges, still generally higher pressure, but with lower pressure nearby, still the threat of showers. And you can see as we're towards the weekend, that's where the showering activity increases, so out of the range of the UK Met Office run at this stage, with those greens moving in, that's lower pressure coming in from the south, spiralling in showers, could be quite unsettled across parts of Europe, with some warmer air feeding into that as well, could be some thundery activity. Now beyond that, we do stay with this easterly flow and just continues like that all the way to day 10, before actually high pressure does start to build in, turning things perhaps more settled, before we do see more low pressure trying to run in right towards 384 hours. So it's going to be very mixed the next couple of weeks. There will be drier and maybe warmer weather, but at the same time there will be cloudy, showery and cooler days as well. So you run it back and have a look at the air masses with the 850 HPA temperatures. See, reasonably warm at the moment, but cooler air moving through over the next couple of days, and then in from the east, generally chilly air. Nothing crazy cold, but around or slightly below average. Then, as we head towards generally with that easterly wind, you can see, yes, there could be some warmer air getting dragged up for the south, but it's generally going to be not too bad. And towards day 10, you can see there is warm air very close by, but eventually we do see more of an Atlantic air mass move through, and right towards 384 hours, you can see it is pretty warm in the south. We have a look at those temperature deviations. It is generally a little bit warmer than average in the south, so when we do evade the cloud and the showers, as I said, over the next couple of weeks, we could see temperatures still get into the high teens, maybe 20 degrees. It is still possible. So do have a look at the GM run, see how that does compare. Again, high pressure to our north and our east, low pressure breaking through, and we generally go into an easterly flow, very similar to the GFS run, lower pressure to our south, spiralling in showers, and right towards day 10, just a lot of these little cut-off lows developing, giving us showers, but you can see it's not too chilly. Look at those upper air temperatures. Yes, they're not crazy, but then none of these blues are coming in, none of the -5 line, so it is not too bad. Again, look at those temperature deviations. Yes, a little bit chillier than average in a few spots, a little bit milder than average in a few spots. Generally, though, it's coming around average, and it will mean average temperatures maybe slightly cooler with cloud and rain, as I said, and slightly warmer, perhaps with more sunshine around. So if you have a look at the ECMWF run, see how that does compare. Again, higher pressure to our north and east, low pressure breaking through, and then seeing a lot of these cut-off lows to our south, where they're not moving too much, just spiralling in showers towards Europe and potentially the southeast. They're sitting just to our southeast, could be very unsettled there towards day 10. And actually, the ECMWF run starts to get high pressure really to our north, and it could start to plunge much colder air. If you have a look at those 850 HPA temperatures, getting down to minus 10 line coming into Scandinavia, and potentially that could start to try and get towards the UK if we did run that on another day or two. Now, by no means would we get this bitterly cold air. It would warm up quite significantly, but we could see return to frosts, potentially if we did see that air mass come in, and we could see temperatures perhaps down in sort of the mid to high single digits in the day, feeling much, much chillier. So that is something we need to keep an eye on. With this blocking around, although at the moment it generally looks like it's just going to bring in average sort of conditions in from the east, there is the potential, if it orientates itself correctly towards Greenland, we could see more of a northerly flow, something a lot colder. But as I said, that is only in the longer term, and there's no massive signal for it at this stage. If we do have a look at the ensembles, you can see generally well above average at the moment, but dropping towards average as that low pressure does move through, and we stay around above or slightly below average for the next couple of weeks. Some very cold runs in the longer term, some very warm runs in the longer term, but all in all, when they all balance themselves out, it's around average with some precipitation, not zero, but not crazy amounts either. So generally, it's just going to be sort of average temperatures with a showery regime. So nothing too exceptional. If you look at the sea level pressure, you can see it is generally dropping. Perhaps in the longer term, maybe signal for returning more towards higher pressure once again. But at least for the last 10 days of April, it's not going to be crazy high pressure, but it's not going to be crazy low pressure. So again, continues that signal of average sort of conditions in terms of temperature, and not too much rain, but not no rain at all. If you have a look at those 2 meter temperatures, though, you can see warm but trending cooler over the next few days, back towards sort of 13, 14, 15 degrees. Could be slightly warmer with some more sunny weather, could be slightly cooler with more cloudy, rainy weather. And we just see that continue for the foreseeable future, around 14, 15 degree highs and around 8 to 10 degree lows. Right in the longer term, you can see some much colder runs and some much warmer runs, some getting up towards the high 20s. And that is something we do need to keep an eye on. Remember, we are getting to this time of year now where slightly warmer or even hotter air mass up from the south, we could see those temperatures really climb quite quickly. And although, yes, we have seen 22, 23 degrees, we wouldn't need too much of a warm air mass, really. Maybe the 10 degree isotherm to be getting up into the high 20s for the end of April, potentially into the start of May as well. If we do finally have a look at the ECMWF Ensembles, see how they do compare. Again, they're very, very similar to the GFS. Warm at the moment, returning to around average, above and below average over the foreseeable future. Some much colder outliers and some much milder outliers. And generally, precipitation is not too massive, but not too little either. So it does look like it's going to be decent over the next couple of weeks. Not amazingly warm, not amazingly cold. Could be some colder days here or there, could be some warmer days here or there. And it's not going to be completely dry, but it's not going to be a completely washout either. Just generally average sort of conditions. There will be some days which are going to be cold and wet, but there'll be other days that are warm and dry and summer-like. So it is very much going to be a day-to-day, and we just got to keep up to date with the forecast. I'll keep everyone up to date with the 5 days precipitation and temperature from the UKMO is run in every video, so we'll be able to see what's coming up. And this sort of next coming week is actually improved over the last few days in terms of shower activity is reduced. The temperatures are slightly higher than potentially we initially anticipated when this easterly flow started to come to the model output. So it isn't looking too bad at all. So if you have got plans for next week, definitely is going to be some decent weather out there. It's not going to be stunning like it's been over the last couple of days for most people, especially further southwards and eastwards, but it is still going to be not too bad, not a washout and not really cold either. So hopefully everyone can go out and enjoy today and enjoy Bank Holiday Monday as well. Yes, there is going to be more precipitation and cloud around, but hopefully if you do dodge those showers, it won't be too bad at all. And of course, enjoy the next coming week. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.